Hey guys, hope you enjoy the video. If you do, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So today's video, I'm talking about dimming your light. I've heard this so many times before. People talk about, oh, don't dim your light, make sure you're your authentic self. And I've always listened, but I've never heard it to this extent before. I have really been learning this lesson and seeing it in a different area, like in a different way in my life. So recently I've been meeting a lot of new people in person. Usually I stay home, I stick around the same people all the time and I just kind of keep myself to myself. But my daughter is getting a lot bigger now and I've been taking her to all sorts of play groups and things like that, and I've had to introduce myself to a lot of new people, which I normally don't do. And it's actually really eye-opening because there's some people that I've assumed that they are going to view me in a negative way, and I've actually been the one that did in my own light. And then there's other people where they have been offended by my positivity. So it's a really good, I'm glad all of it happened because it's taught me so many lessons, and it's a really good way to see how people think. So there's some people that are, one person in particular has been quite offended by, why do you always think positively? Like, why always, you must be perfect, or you must do this, and like, you just don't understand what it's like. And, they're telling me off their own back what is going on in their life, and I'm just trying to give them advice and trying to keep it positive and like, you're going to be okay. And I don't know these people personally, but I think I'm just the type of person that someone opens up to very easily. That's just my nature. People just seem to tell me all of their secrets, and it's really I guess I help coach people, so that maybe it's just in my energy for people to just, when I first meet them, to just tell me so many things. So I seem to have triggered some people in always having a solution or always having a positive outlook, like it's okay, you're going to be okay. And I've had to actually now set boundaries and take a step back and not help them in that way anymore, because some people are just not ready to hear it. They're not ready to hear that actually you create your own reality, and actually you can be okay, but you're choosing to not want to be okay. You're choosing to not help yourself in a way where they're just always looking for the problem. They're always looking for something to say that they have wrong with them, and they're always looking to like vent to someone about their problem, like they're so sick of having it, but they're always speaking it into existence. And the minute that someone tells them that there's a solution, they get very defensive, and there's a reason for that. So when somebody is in a vibration for a very long time, and then someone comes along and tells them that you can change that vibration, you can be in a different vibration. Let's use me for example, because I've been taught this I did some of Tony Robinson's training camps and stuff like that, so this is how I know this information. So when I was depressed and had anxiety, I was actually very open for help, but let's just pretend that I wasn't. So when someone's depressed and anxious, and they have been for a very long time, they kind of get used to feeling like that. That's their normal. And if someone comes in and tells them like, okay, so you can do this and you won't have that depression and anxiety anymore, it's like they want to not have the depression and anxiety, but they also want to keep it because they don't know what it's going to be like to not have it. They kind of feel attached to it. They kind of get defensive and would rather lash out at you, and you're the bad person, you just got everything figured out. It's just because you're perfect, it's just because, you know, just because you have everything given to you. And they'll rather say things like this rather than fix it, because it's almost like they're so scared to let go of this thing that they've been carrying for so long, because that's home to them, that's normal to them, that's where they're at, and you need to break the pattern. So Tony Robinson says about how it's easier to make someone laugh, and then like when they're laughing, then to then get them to a different place. So like, for example, if somebody he like swears at them, so he's like this woman was in the crowd and she was really like saying she was really depressed, and I'm sure she had like really, you know, he talks about her posture and how her posture is like all slumped, and she's telling him about this problem that she's been having, and then he swears at her, and then she's really shocked, so then she starts laughing, and he says it's easy to make depressed people laugh when you shock them. But then the minute you start to tell them some, you know, truth that they can get out of that depressed situation, like, it's okay, you can get out of it, like, we have solutions, they instantly go back into that depressed state when they was just laughing 2 seconds ago. But they kind of go back into that depressed state because they want to almost protect it, and they don't want to let it go, because it's like they feel like almost like they're not meant to, they're meant to be in this depressed state, they're meant to stay in this, they're meant to you know, be upset and tell everyone like, oh, I'm depressed, like it's their story that they've been telling for a very long time, so they want to stay there. Whereas when you like shock them and it makes them laugh, then you have to then go out about it at a different like angle, so they don't almost like, it's like you have to make a joke out of it to like get them to see where you're coming from, because they just feel so defensive about it. I hope this is making sense. So anyways, this has been happening in my life where there's you know, I've been meeting these new people and people just seem to open up to me. So yeah, I had tried to explain, I don't just tell people, you know, oh, you should believe in this, you should believe in law of attraction, you should believe in karma, you should believe in spirits and things like that. But when someone's opening up to me with their problem, like off their own back, then I'm gonna tell them, like, listen, I've been there, I've been depressed, I've been anxious, like horrendously, not just like a little bit, like severely depressed and anxious, to the point where I had seizures for years because I just couldn't control it anymore, and my body couldn't get the anxiousness and the depression out, and it didn't know how to, you know, it just was on fight or flight mode constantly. So I have been there, and I can say you can get out of that state. You can. You don't have to stay in this state of depression or anxiety, and I understand that you feel protective over it and you want to almost look after your depression and anxiety and like make sure it stays with you because it feels safe and comfortable where you are. But then also the total opposite, where you feel like crap and like ill and down, and it feels both, and that's really bizarre to say, but it's like you want to protect it because you're just so used to feeling like that. You don't know what it's going to feel like when you let it go. Who are you going to be? What is this going to become? Like, this is weird. But I feel like people need to hear that it's okay and you really can get out of that state, because I've done it. I promise you, you can do it. So when I've been going to these little groups, I feel like I've been triggering some people, and I've really had to set my own boundaries now on if like they just want someone to vent to, and I'm not going to be the person that they're just going to vent to. Like, I'm trying to enjoy you know, taking my daughter to these groups, and I don't want to be the therapist. So it's really me learning to set boundaries for one, But then 2, on the other hand, it's learning me to own my authentic self. I could really dim my light to fit into that world for that person to be like, oh no, really, I know it's terrible, like, and then I would go away feeling like complete crap because my energy's been drained. Their energy's been the dominant one, and they're the ones that are like at a lower frequency of just feeling really rubbish and crap. And or I could choose to be like, no, I'm going to own my light, I'm going to stay in my vibration, and I'm not going to allow you to, use me to feel better when you don't actually want the help. You just want to have an ear. And sometimes it's okay to say no to help people when they're not ready to be helped. Like, I offered to help her in so many ways, but she didn't want to. But then also, there's another thing that I've been learning is when I've been introducing myself to these new people, some of them I've known, some of them I've never met, and they've been asking me, like, oh, what's your name? What do you do? Like, what's your job? And I've been introducing myself as the weirdo. I've been just saying like, oh, I'm just, I'm a weirdo. I just do like, spiritual stuff, and I'm like a medium and psychic, and yeah, it's just weird stuff, And then I'm saying this, and like, there's like a part of me that's just speaking this, almost like word vomit of like anxiousness, like, oh my god, I have to say what I do. What if they don't agree? What if they don't like the same thing? Like, what if they get offended because of their religion? Or and like, I'm just word vomiting all of these, like, I'm a weirdo, I'm this, I'm that, put myself down, not being my authentic self, because I'm being the self where I'm like, I'm making sure that you like me rather than just not even giving a crap. And then there's this side of myself that's like stood back, is it like saying, Abby, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Like, oh my god, like, own it. Like, what are you doing? Stop talking. Just stop. But like, these words are just spilling out of my mouth. And then I'm just like, why did I do that? Like, why did I say that I'm the weirdo? That I'm like, just like the medium and psychic. Like, it's so fun to do what I do. But yeah, clearly there was some part of me that did not want to say it. And that was just so bizarre to me because I've never been in that situation, so I never knew that I thought that way. And it was really an eye-opening thing. Like, I needed to see that so I could own it and own myself and not be ashamed of what I do. I didn't know I was. I don't think I am ashamed. I think it was just like, I felt like I was going to say it before they was able to judge me. I was going to address the elephant in the room and, say what I thought they would be thinking before they thought it. Like, it's almost like I was taking the mick out of myself before they could do it. When really, actually, they replied with, oh my god, I love them things, like, oh, I'm really into all of that. And it's like, I really like judged them for thinking that they was going to be able to judge me, and really they was actually the ones that weren't judgmental. So yeah, it's been a really eye-opening experience the last few weeks. And I just wanted to just come on here and just say, we need to not dim our light, we need to stand in our power, because if all of us are coming to this world as like starseeds, or whatever type of soul you are, there's so many labels for it. We don't need labels. We're a soul. If you're on this channel, you've awakened and you're healing, and you're going through all the things, and you're raising your frequency and your vibration. So that's actually helping heal the planet. And if we're the ones here doing this, and we're the ones that are dimming our light to make other people feel more comfortable around us, or to not trigger people because they, it doesn't feel nice. I don't like confrontation at all. So it's like, do we want to compromise our own self and the planet to make other people that are feeling sad and low vibrational to like almost like condone, not condone, almost, what is the word? To almost enable, that's the word, so like to enable them to stay in that vibration. And you know, like then what they're going to do, we're meant to be the light around them to help them, like lead by example. They're meant to see that and be like, oh wow, I can do that one day. And even if they, you know, they are triggered by it at first, we're standing in our power, and then maybe one day down the line they'll be like, do you know what, I see it from a different point of view now. You know, and even if they don't, like we cannot lower our frequency and dim our light to fit in, or to make people not feel like uncomfortable, or to, you know, make people like us. Not everyone's going to like us. It's completely fine. That's so normal. Like not everyone in the world is going to be able to like everyone, because it just doesn't happen like that. It's like light and dark doesn't happen. But if we were to dim our light, then all of them people that were looking up to us, and even if they don't know that they're looking up to us in a way that, like, even if it's coming from jealousy and I'm annoyed that you feel good and I feel like crap, there's still a bit of hope there. Like, okay, if she can get better, I can get better. And imagine all of the starseeds around the world not owning their light and dimming it to fit in with the lower frequency. And then the low frequency are going to feel like crap. They're going to get even lower. And then we're going to end up being like, you know, it's going to be the same as Atlantis. It's going to happen all over again. There's going to be like slavery, because the dark side, the shadow government, are going to have total power over everything, because we are not standing on our light. We're not like sticking up for ourselves. We're not owning our own authentic self, because we'd rather, you know, dim our light to fit in with everyone else, or to make everyone else feel a little bit more comfortable, or to make me feel a little bit more comfortable, because I just don't like feeling like, I don't want people to think that I have it all figured out and I'm all perfect, because I'm really not. I'm really, really not. But when people are saying that to me, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So it makes me just feel like, meh, I'll just be like here then. But then I'm like, no, that's not fair. You're not able to do that, because then look at all the other people you're letting down. You're meant to be raising the frequency, not just letting people, you know, assume that you're one way when you're not, like just like I did. So yeah, if we are all gonna dim our light, then it's gonna have a domino effect on the whole world. You do it, and then the person that looked up to you didn't even realize they were looking up to, they're gonna do it, and then it's gonna be a domino effect. Everyone's gonna dim their light. The dark side, the dark agenda, total easily win, easily, because nobody's gonna want to step into their power. One person steps into their power and feels authentic and like, yes, I've got this. Like, sometimes it's scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Then there's people watching that you don't even realize are watching you. They're going to be like, yeah, she's doing it, I can do it. Or he's doing it, I can do it. And then they're going to take a domino effect in that way. So lead by example. Nobody's perfect. So like, yes, I might have, you know, not been able to set boundaries, but now I'm going to be able to learn that. I'm going to be able to set boundaries, and then I'm going to be able to, you know, stand in my authentic self. And next time someone asks me, oh, what do you do then? I'm like, I love spiritual stuff. Like, I teach spiritual stuff. I do one-on-ones. Like, I get to like channel, and it's really fun. You know, I could enjoy talking about what I do rather than be like, oh my god, like, are they into it? Am I going to offend them? Like, no. It's so fun. And what is wrong with other people not agreeing with you anyway? You know, not everyone has to agree with the same thing. There's so many things out there to disagree on, and so what if they don't agree? it's okay. You can all have a difference of opinion. It does not mean that you know, it's going to cause arguments or conflict, or, you know, it doesn't mean that they're not going to like you. You can disagree on things and then still be friends. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on dimming your light for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, or maybe was able to take something away from it, because I feel like I've been learning about setting boundaries and speaking my truth and, you know, sticking up for myself for a very freaking long time. And it's always been one thing that I've really shied away from, because I just really dislike conflict. It makes me like, I don't like it so much. And the more I've been sticking up for myself, and the more I've been really being clear on what I think is okay and what I do not agree is okay in my world, not like, I don't have, it's nothing to do with me what other people do, but for me, the more that I've realised, the responses I've been getting is actually amazing, and everyone's been really supportive and, okay, great, sorry, I didn't realise I was doing that, or yeah, like, I totally see where you're coming from, like, I love that you was able to, you know, share that with me so I can work on it, or, you know, things like that. And I was like, what? Like, this is not scary. Like, I tell my friend, wow, I set my boundaries today. And she's like, oh, amazing. I'm like, they didn't shout at me. It's great. Like, but like, I don't know, I always expect, you know, like a big argument or something like that, and, you know, scary things to happen when I just set a boundary, or, you know, speak my truth, because honestly, the way my friends and family have reacted is actually amazing, and they've really helped me do it rather than let me shy away from it. So if you need to work on your boundaries, then this is your sign. And I'm still going through it. I thought I'd done a lot of it, but then this is just a new area of my life that I'm not usually in these situations. So it's good to kind of step outside of my comfort zone and really learn to take the boundaries over there as well, rather than just with the people that know that I'm healing it and feel comfortable with, they know I feel uncomfortable setting boundaries and speaking about this. So like, if I'm saying it, they're going to be respectful and be like, I know that this makes you feel uncomfortable, so I'm proud of you for saying it and like speaking your truth. But like, when it comes to strangers, I'm like, oh my days, this is scary. But yeah, it's amazing that the universe is able to always show us lessons and to really help us out with what we need to learn and heal, because otherwise, how are we ever meant to know what we're meant to heal? If the universe doesn't put us in situations like this, then we're never going to know. So yeah, that is my video for today. I do have an Etsy link below if you want to do any one-on-one sessions, or if you want to buy a recorded yes, anyways. So I do DNA upgrades and light language and things like that. I have an abundance one. I have unlock and open your third eye one, and also upgrade your third eye if you have already opened up your psychic abilities and like mediumship and things like that, but you're really wanting to enhance what's already there. That one's a really good one. And yeah, if you guys want any other ones that are not there, then you can definitely comment below, and I will for sure make it and upload it. So yeah, that's it for today. I loved doing this video. I think it actually flowed really well and I really enjoyed talking about it. So I hope to see you guys liking the video and commenting below, and I will see you in the next video.